comedy action thriller Spy Family is one of the most accessible and enjoyable shows I've seen in recent times, so I'd like to register my appreciation with a look at some of the best moments from season 1. And I should say that it's the English dub that I watch, and it's very well performed by the cast, with a special emphasis on Megan Shipman's portrayal of young telepath Anya Forger.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
The very brief outline of the show is that Loid Forger, codenamed Twilight from the region's Intelligence Services Agency, is tasked with saving the world through a project named Operation Strix, for which he will need to assemble a fake family in order to infiltrate prestigious private school Eden Academy, whose uniform Anya really likes.
This is my uniform! Ta-da! I'm in my uniform! Ta-da!
From there, the idea is that he will access dangerous political actor Donovan Desmond via his second son, Damian Desmond. His new daughter Anya is going to befriend Damian, that's the plan, and that will enable him to get that access to Donovan Desmond, but it's a complex project that will take all of Loid's skill and resources to successfully accomplish, I would suggest. So let's get to some of those best moments, and not all of them are huge set pieces, it's often the subtleties and the tiny details that delight and add that richness to the experience. For example, Anya, as we've just discussed, she needs to make friends with Damian Desmond, the second son as he is known, but unfortunately she punches him on day one. Now that's a good moment, an important character moment, but just as enjoyable is the detail the following day when Anya goes to apologise for the punch, and we get this moment where she strides determinedly up to Damian, but to emphasise how small she is, you only see the top of her head drifting across the screen as she starts marching, and then she decides she can't see over the table, so she has to continue around to the side of it. It's just a lovely touch, and I also noted in that scene a brief joke leading into the sequence that I'm pretty confident is homage to a Simpsons joke.
Students, I have an announcement. One of your favorite comic book heroes, Radio Man.
Radioactive Man, stupid!
Strange. I shouldn't have been able to hear that.
Attention. Becky Blackbell from Class 1-3. Come to the student hall in Tower
Huh?
A immediately.
Can I come after I finish eating?
Immediately!
Ugh.
That was Loid over the tannoy, by the way, because Becky was blocking that important apology to second son. Now, Yor Briar was secured by Loid in episode 2 to play the role of Anya's mother, so she became Yor Forger. And this happens not because Loid's an elite spy and Yor wants to help save the world, because that's Loid's secret obviously, but because he claims that his wife sadly passed away and it was her dying wish for Anya to get into this prestigious school, and he needs a wife to help achieve this.
Because it was her mother's dying wish.
Papa's a big liar.
Now by day, Yor's true personality is that she's a shy and hopeless 20-something who seeks relationship advice from her mean colleagues. But her secret is that she's a deadly assassin called Thorn Princess, who kills for a shadowy organisation, which means in practice for the show, she occasionally acts like a superhero. These visuals are from a sequence in episode 19 when Yor mistakenly thinks Anya has left her gym clothes at home and she needs to return them to her ASAP, but there are also moments where she saves Anya from bad guys. Anya's actually in genuine peril in these scenes, which I guess is partly why the show is certified 12 and 15 in the UK, which tragically means it isn't suitable for younger viewers who would no doubt really enjoy the Anya character. But we do get to see Yor's strength and skills as she kicks the bad guys around, the best example of which looks like this.
Now don't take this personally, kid.
Loid's skills also make him look like some kind of superhero, a particularly ludicrous example of which happens during an illegal underground tennis tournament. Tennis and volleyball have come up in other Japanese cartoons, so it seems to be some kind of trope, and there's also a big dodgeball episode in Spy Family a bit earlier in the series which has its own entertaining moments.
Killer Sun! Darkness!
Huh?
In the finale of the tennis tournament, Loid demonstrates otherworldly skills that peak Roger Federer would struggle to handle. Of course, the real joy of Spy Family is watching telepathic Anya react to the inner dialogue of other characters. Loid's partner in the underground tennis tournament was a spy colleague called Nightfall, who is in fact in love with Loid and is attempting to oust Yor as Loid's wife. Anya definitely does not want this to happen.
I'd whip that girl into shape both physically and mentally. I could turn her into a Stella-winning machine in but a month's time.
I definitely do not want this, Mama!
And there's a really beautiful touch when Anya is trying to read Nightfall and get a better look at her thoughts. It's in those exquisite details that the show truly shines and reaches essential status. Now Anya knows that she can't let people figure out that she can read minds, but she frequently gives massive clues that she's doing exactly that.
This reminds me of when my little brother was still so small and cute. Of course, there was that time I hugged him too hard and ended up breaking 2 of his ribs. Can't do that again.
Well, perhaps I spoke too soon.
Other times she does a much better job of concealing her big secret and using it for good. One of these times is to point Loid in the direction of a purse snatcher, but the other, and the more powerful moment, is when she detects a boy drowning and needs to drag Loid in the general area.
I can't breathe. My leg won't move.
So I'm gonna become a pro swimmer against Stars Away, so I have to go practice in the pool!
What? Come back!
What are you doing, little girl?
Literally award-winning stuff, because that leads to Anya winning her first Stellar Star. It does, however, lead to her becoming a little bit full of herself, although her good friend Becky Blackbell doesn't seem to mind.
From now on, you'll call me Starlight Anya. Sure.
The show is very easy to watch, but it does have intelligence behind it too, especially on Loid's side when he's solving problems and analysing situations. But if you want toilet humour, we get some of that too.
Something's really not agreeing with my stomach. You two go on ahead to the shelter by the train station. I need to find a bathroom.
Loid, are you okay? We can wait for you.
Papa takes a whole lot of time in the crapper, so we should probably go. Boo-boo time.
The fourth member of the Forger family is of course Anya's dog, Bond. Bond is a big, noble white dog, and yes, he is named after a famous spy, Bondman from Anya's favourite cartoon, Spy Wars. Naturally, Bond also has a gift, which in this case is occasionally temporarily seen into the future. This is obviously very useful, and Anya works out that he has this gift too because she's a mind reader. But one of the more distressing and memorable sequences from the show is when Bond becomes jealous of Anya's cuddly stuffed penguin toy that was a gift from Loid, so he kills it.
Am I crazy? Or do those look like scratches and bite marks?
On that occasion, Loid was quick and keen to help make Anya feel better, which is always important for the overall mission. Episodes are called missions, by the way. But generally speaking, another one of the most enjoyable aspects of Spy Family is how cold and emotionless he is towards Anya, really because he just sees her as a tool of the operation, so whatever is required for the mission he will do, but she's often the source of frustration to Loid. Yor, on the other hand, is always encouraging when Anya wants that positive reinforcement, and these contrasting personality attributes are beautifully illustrated in the following clips.
I help Papa clean too!
Oh, did you now? You did such a good job.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. See?
You know all you did was knock over the mop bucket.
Anya's right, you can cook.
It's nothing, really.
I help Papa in the kitchen too.
You're such a good girl.
By helping, do you mean getting flour everywhere? Or was it when you stopped to eat some peanuts?
There are other notable characters in the show, but they don't really qualify for any best moment compilations. We can give them a brief nod though. We've got Anya's best friend Becky, who we've already mentioned. We also have Headmaster Henry Henderson, who rarely gets through a sentence without using the word elegant.
Such elegant! Oh, such elegant!
Henderson actually got Anya into Eden Academy after punching a colleague who made Anya cry during the interviewing process, so he's one of the good guys. We've also got Donovan and Damian Desmond, of course, who are essential to the show's plot, but again aren't very funny, mainly because Donovan is about to start a war, so he's a very serious character. We've also got Yor's brother Yuri, and this is Loid's colleague Frankie, who helps Loid in various situations, although he does partake in one of the episodes I'm not so fond of, in which Loid has to recreate a scene from Anya's favourite show, Spy Wars, which is a reward for getting into Eden Academy. It's a little bit too balmy for my palate, even if it does demonstrate the lens Loid will go to keep Anya happy. But anyway, that's some of the other key players, but in reality, all of the show's entertainment value comes from Anya and Loid. Even your episodes can be somewhat slight and have a different tone that revolves around family relationships. For example, when she learns to cook so she can be a better mother. And here we can note the deadly assassin tier chopping technique. So back to Loid, who we know has the amazing ability to read other people's intentions during the course of his spy work, but this does not translate to personal relationships, which includes Yor, but especially Anya. I've already mentioned that Anya frequently reacts to what other characters are thinking, even though she knows it could lead to her being taken away from the family, and this leads us very neatly towards not just another very funny moment, but also the best episode in the whole season. This is episode 20, which is actually broken down into 2 missions, which sometimes happens, but it's the first one investigating the general hospital, which is the real gold here. This is where Anya needs to report on an occupation for a school project, so after ruling out Yor, because Yor starts thinking about her assassin gig, she decides to follow Loid around the hospital where he works as a psychiatrist to distract from his spy work. She turns up in a Sherlock Holmes outfit, which to me, if not Loid, is as amusing as anything that happens in the show. And I'm actually going to link away here. Well, the way Anya speaks is entertaining on its own. Like here she is introducing herself at the hospital in the Sherlock outfit.
Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
So on that occasion she muddles the words because she's 5 years old and that's quite an adult sentence, but in this very memorable moment she does it seemingly on purpose and slightly annoys Loid at the same time.
We're on a family outing, la 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 la.
It's pronounced outing.
And we know she's doing it on purpose because here she's doing it again.
My new outfit is so cute. I love how it fits, and I really love your tailor shop too.
Oh, thank you.
This is my first outing in my brand new outfit.
Oh, really? It must be a good day then.
A good day for a good outing.
So yes, outing might be the best quote in the whole series. But back to Sherlock. Anya needs to disguise that she's telepathic, but here we get more great moments where she's clearly reading Loid's mind and he still can't work it out.
A private practice would have made for an easier cover story, but many high-profile names from the political and business world frequent here. This place lets me infiltrate their social circles and steal plenty of information.
I don't think anything I've said is particularly noteworthy. I'll make sure to check in with the
Maintaining
director.
a diverse collection of contacts is essential. It makes it easier to gather info and forge new connections, but what's more important is being someone that makes people think, what? No way he's a spy. I can't stand out for being antisocial.
What? No way he's...
Seriously, why do you keep taking notes when nothing significant has happened?
Further into the episode, Anya finds out that there's a secret passageway in Loid's office. Naturally, mischief ensues. I'm also going to mention the psychological experiment Loid wants Anya to take part in by placing objects around a sandpit. Anya hasn't been in the room, of course, because she's been sneaking around the secret passageway, so she just dumps everything into the stand at the last minute and Loid can't tell. In short, this particular mission is genius. The second part isn't quite up to that standard, but it's still very good, and we do get to see Loid deliver another vicious assault on Anya's talents. In this case, Anya's putting together a secret code. This is inspired by her Spy Wars cartoon, and she doesn't want anybody to see this code, but Loid explained why it wouldn't matter if they did.
I'm gonna make a code too.
There she goes playing spy again.
Hey, Anya,
Top secret!
no one's going to be able to read that, let alone crack the code.
Her handwriting is impossible to decipher, even with my refined decoding skills.
Frankie actually solves the code later in the episode because Anya has Yor draw up a proper version of it, and that rounds out what is undoubtedly the highlight of the season. And on a different note, here's a clip of Anya so tired that she confuses Loid with a plant.
Good morning, please. Oh, you're looking greener than usual, Papa.
I'm over here. Go wake yourself up.
And that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something, as always. Let me know in the comments if I missed your favourite moment. Season 2 and the movie Codename White still don't have physical releases that I'm aware of. When they do appear, perhaps you can come back and speak about those. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day.